Welcome to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain your week. Got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the green lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts. And allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. This carnival cruise of a podcast can be found on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is the co-host that is smoother than the butter that goes on toast, Winter Trash Monk the Thizzard.
Yes, I'm the unlegitimate son of Billy D. Williams.
Is that why you always smell like coat malt liquor, my dude?
No, that's because I have a drinking problem.
Okay,
also inherited from my father. Okay. No,
wow,
just kidding.
That balances out right there. That makes sense.
So,
yeah, that makes sense.
That's why I write, baby. Yeah, my name's Winter Trash Monk the Third. My handle's Trash Monk III. That's Trash Monk III! And I'm coming at you in the mountains of California.
The mountains, dog. Do you have a mountain? Yeah.
In the bunker, in the winter bunker.
Do you have a pet grizzly bear named Cheeseburger, my dude?
Yeah, of course. I haven't met it or trained it, but it's out there.
Okay, because I thought that just comes with being a mountain man. You get a pet.
No.
You get a pet.
Red Man Chew, because what you get with being a mountain man, because no one can argue about the name of the company when you're in the mountains.
Damn, that mountain life, dog.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of internet reception you get in the mountains, dog?
Well, we have a gold package, which is like the middle of the road. That I think the highest I've gotten it was 22 Mbps.
Nice.
What do you got?
My internet is garbage, dog. I don't even know. It's like, I think I have, I don't know. It's low. It's the worst. Well, it's not what I want.
You're in the city. You're supposed to, I think, what you're passing by that you have a more stable internet, though, because do you think it's stable, like a steady stream?
Yeah, I rarely have it like completely die on me. That just doesn't happen. So I will say that that it just doesn't very often. Does it just die? It'll sync out, and I'll get bad reception sometimes, but for the most part, it's pretty on point, like Stacey Adams, as it were. You know what I mean?
On point.
On point. That's the on point voice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So my week has been very interesting. I got a message, an email today that I guess I can pull it up real quick.
Pull up the email.
Yeah, I could have done this like a real professional before the episode.
That's okay. Professional, yeah. This podcast? Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
I'm eating a whole alcoholic watermelon right now as we speak, Doug.
So I submitted a script to this thing called Madcap Quirky Voices Anthology Adventures. And they're doing a series on dystopian future. They're like, oh, well, maybe I can send something. They just want 15-minute max scripts, and I got chosen.
Yeah, when it's in there, dog.
She wants me to send my PayPal link over, and I'll be getting 10. It's either euros or pounds.
Man, just be careful with stuff like that. make sure that it's not ran by like an African prince or something, my man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure. Don't you poo-poo my dreams.
I'm not poo-pooing your dreams, bro, but I'm just trying to protect your pockets.
She's real.
You know it's real. It's real to me, damn it.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, bro. You are talented. You have the tools and you have the talent. It's Miller time.
Miller time.
Yeah, man.
Right on.
We're gonna pop open a Colt 45 and just die from the malt liquorness. You know what I'm saying?
A Colt 45 and 2 zigzags. Baby, that's all we need. I hate that song. And I hate that it's in my mind.
I swear, when I get married eventually, I'm going to have a malt liquor cake, dog. I'm not going to tell anybody. They're just going to bite into it and have to deal.
That's one of the grossest things I've heard. Okay, how was your week?
My week was constructing the malt liquor cake, learning the science behind it. My week wasn't as eventful as that. I pretty much just did a lot of drawing. The podcast has kind of taken most of my creative energy, I would say, because I used to be really big into drawing, like comics and still life and all types of crazy stuff. But this past week, I did a lot of drawing, like just digital artwork, a lot of traditional pencil on paper drawing, and just had a blast kind of getting back in touch with that part of my brain, just so I don't use it or lose it, right? So
now, is this connected with the you-know-what? What?
Yes, it is, actually. Okay. So it is connected with the you-know-what. And because I overthink everything, I had to do everything at least 5 times. So to make sure that it's right, dang it. But yeah, I just did a lot of artwork. There's no games being played, both figuratively and physically, because there's nothing out right now that I want to play other than Smash, that I don't own a Switch. So I cannot play that at the moment. So I watch a lot of horror movies. I watched Night of the Demons, Curse 2, The Bite. I watched a trauma film called Sergeant. What was it? Sergeant
Peppers.
No, that's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The Lonely Hearts Club Band. I was watching. It was Sergeant. It was like Sergeant Kabuki, something. Sergeant Kenneman or something like that. And just watch a lot of real weird, goofy stuff like Castle Freak. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Just getting in touch with my inner horror nerd this week. So I didn't absorb any new content that I wish I could talk about. It's just a lot of old school stuff and tapping into parts of my brain that have been kind of low key turned off for the last year. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Nothing fun. Just watching a lot of people play Smash and being super jelly because that game looks awesome, you know. But that's the future. We'll play Smash later. You know, can you stream Nintendo games without them just killing you? Without Mario just busting through your windshield and destroying your setup?
I don't know. You're in dangerous territory, laddie.
Yeah, you're in the undiscovered country. Yeah. Yeah, what was that? That was like a Scrooge McDuck you had going on right there. I like it. I need more of it in my bloodstreams.
Yeah.
Speaking of more, it's kind of good we had short weeks because we have a metric ton of news this week. So what I want to do is something we've done before in the podcast when we have just a ton of stuff we would love to talk about but just don't have enough time. I would like to do what they call a lightning round. So what I plan to do, Winta, is to say the topic. You give me a yay, so we can talk about it for a moment, or a nay, and we'll just pass it up. And each one of us gets one veto.
Okay.
So if I say yay, and of course you say nay, I can veto it, but I only get that one time. You know what I'm saying?
So
and vice versa.
Yes. So you watch me yay, and you watch me nay.
This is why you're around, my man. I couldn't have thought of that.
Because you're not dumb.
No. Now let's whip this.
You don't have like what PTSD people have to do, where they have to like link things together with like rhymes to remember things.
Just to remember things.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet. Man.
Yeah, I don't want to get into the Peter David water. So shout out to the victims who have PTSD.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, we don't want to go into that territory, but let's whip this podcast into shape.
Yeah, trying to jump on my bandwagon there, but all right.
Yeah, you're gonna get on that bandwagon now or never. Yeah. So there's a bunch of stupid stuff I want to talk about, but it's not just about me. It's about us,
right?
As masters of thy nerdiverse. So let's go into the first. There's two halves of this news cycle. There's the standard news that came out around before and after what happened this week was the Game Awards, which is going to be one whole segment to itself. And we'll talk about that in the same yay or nay fashion. So let's start with the first photo from the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog film. Have you seen this picture?
Yes. And yeah, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it, man, because I have some strong feelings about something that's so simple, but it gets everything wrong right off the bat.
Right. It's interesting. The names are interesting attached to this project. And then the style, the storyline is very interesting. And then also the artistic design of the main character is bizarre in the sense of it's like, why does he need muscular legs is a big question.
Because he got to go fast, though.
Right. But it seems to be like this is what happens when you don't have the people working on Detective Pokemon doing this. Yeah. You just have like the people who are like, I like that style, but I've never made a movie before. And it's very fitting that this is someone's directorial debut, I believe.
Yeah, it's the guy who directed Need for Speed with Jesse Pinkman in it.
I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that this is someone's start.
I stand corrected.
I'm gonna look that up, but you should talk about it.
Yeah, man. So what I will say is that the uncanny valley is a very hard thing to kind of master.
Yeah,
and as we just saw with something like Detective Pikachu, where for some people it still looks horrific. Some people just don't like it. And some people like me, and I think like you, are really interested to see where they take that. With Pikachu, these almost cartoonish looking characters that are given flesh in a weird way and fur.
Jeff Fowler, by the way, is the director.
Has he directed anything before this?
The only thing that he was connected with was the animation research and development of Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh, okay. So he has some clout in the business. This is just his directorial debut.
Yes.
Good.
And it's by the producers of the Fast and Furious.
Okay. That's where the connection is. Okay, then I do stand corrected. I don't know, man. This looks horrifying. It just from the shadow, it reminds me of like, it reminds me of the Garbage Pail Kids movie, where it's just, how have we gone so far in graphics and computer animation and stuff like this? They just still can't kind of get right because too many. I think they overthink it.
Yeah. You know I think it's going to look good, but it's going to be like you said. I don't know if it kind of goes into the realm of uncanny valley because I think that's more about like human computer design, and you're already going off the deep end with anthropomorphic hedgehog.
Yeah,
but what I am interested in is you have Ben Schwartz, who is not a muscular dude, voicing Sonic the Hedgehog, but you have like I do. What's that thing that a lot of people are doing in the gym? Not working out. The
selfies.
No, it's like they like push a tire around the room.
Oh yeah. What's that called? I know what you're talking about. It's like Tough Mudders. Those guys.
4-cross or
CrossFit.
CrossFit, yeah. 4-cross. Yeah. CrossFit. There you
go. Man. Well, Schwartz has a voice like Sonic, because if you've heard Sonic talk, he has like this weird 90s surfer dude, like, hey guys, I'm Sonic. I have a very bad Sonic. But he has like this real high pitched kind of, I love chili dogs, and that's no good, So I can see Schwartzman.
You want to do a little bit more of that because they might hire you for the sequel.
Jeez, I'll take their money, though. don't get it twisted. You hear Mike G.
Yeah, it's $90 million budget, by the way.
Pardon my French. That's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
Sega has the money, though. It's their flagship character. So
is it Sega or is it the people that own Sega?
Well, right.
Yeah.
Now, do you think this will be better or worse than Super Mario Brothers way back like in 1990?
Oh, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be better. Yeah, there's no like debate over. I don't think there is any debate about that. Just for what it's.
Yikes.
I mean, the cast is already gonna be better. I
it's
can't
just
say
gonna
that.
be weird, dude.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins is pretty good, but
Bob Hoskins is next level, dude. Okay, yay or nay? Netflix debut the teaser trailer for the Jared Way comic book, The Umbrella Academy.
No, teenagers scare the living shit out of me, so I'm going to go nay.
Like every day.
I was making that was a deep cut joke for Jared Way fans, but
see, I'm a nerd, but I'm not a Jared Way nerd.
Yeah, it's just you didn't have an emo phase. It sounds like, so you didn't listen to My Chemical Romance.
No, I listened to AFI.
But you know what? We'll carry on.
We'll carry on. We will carry on. Okay, yay or nay? James Gunn's new superhero horror film, Brightburn, new trailer drops.
I'm interested. I'm interested, but
it's like that Twilight. It's like the Twilight Zone episode with the kid with the cornfield. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
where it's like
I don't necessarily know if we needed it.
We ultra don't. I mean, superhero horror. It's like it's fine as long as it's interesting. I don't care. It looks interesting. It's Superman, but told kind of like the other half of like, what if this kid was just born bad? You know what I mean? Like, but he has the powers of Superman. Who's actually going to stop this little punk? No one, dude.
Right.
It's over. The world's over, dude. So I'm curious to see where that goes, and I may have to put a little bit of my hard-earned cash into that. So, moving on. Yay or nay? Netflix orders a new Ghost in the Shell anime.
Nay. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of other people covering Ghost in the Shell anime. The question I'm having is why now? And
I'll also say nay.
Yeah,
because Netflix has a bad habit of just grabbing stuff. Kind of like they're kind of like that one family member at Thanksgiving that takes like 5 or 6 plates of food when everybody else is taking like 1, maybe 2 max. It's like, you don't need all that, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't need all that. Put it back. Put this random anime that nobody cares about back.
Well, I mean, I care about it. I think Ghost in the Shell is good, and I think anybody who doesn't think that it has helped, let
me clarify. I'm not saying Ghost in the Shell is bad.
Right.
People care about Ghost in the Shell as a intellectual property.
Yeah.
I love Ghost in the Shell. But do I need a brand new Ghost in the Shell anime created by Netflix?
Not right now.
No. Not right now. I don't know.
Particularly when you've already made announcements for Cowboy Bebop, all this other stuff.
Too much.
Ghost in the Shell should have its own, like, next year, please.
Let Ghost in the Shell be made in Japan from Funhouse, or dare I say, the guys who make, like the Gurren Lagann, Kill la Kill people, or whoever, rather than Netflix. And I don't know I don't know.
I mean, Netflix has done Castlevania good, but
But yeah, that's not Castlevania was a video game. It's not necessarily anime.
But
like their Godzilla was horrible. Like I did not like the Godzilla anime.
right, but then they do it in like an anime style. I would have to watch it again.
Yeah, it's very anime style, kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is you know what I'm saying? Like it's full anime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay, something that we have to address, otherwise we won't be a nerd podcast, quote unquote, is the Avengers trailer for Avengers finally named Endgame. Did you watch this trailer?
I did. And I went, well, who's going to live? And by the way, they've already announced the director for Doctor Strange 2.
So we know he's making it.
Yeah.
Right?
They've already already released photos of whoever plays Pepper Potts and the what's the name of her character? The Iron Man.
Her armored character's name Rescue.
Iron S.
No,
ironing
that's
board.
The best Iron Man female name ever is literally female.
No, there's no way. Oh, I'm blowing my mind.
No. Do you know Riri Williams? There was a new Iron Man. There was a new Iron Man kind of lineage where there was this young African American girl who built herself a Iron Man armor from scratch. So Tony
I'm
Stark
looking at it right now.
her under her wing. Oh my god! She became Ironheart. Her name for a split second was going to be female. And I was like, that is so dope. Like that's so dope on so many different levels. That I was like, you should have stuck with your guns and named her that. Too real, dude. For those who don't get the joke, science it up.
Don't click on images. Okay, let's move on from that.
Moving on. What I will say about the Avengers trailer is that it gives you just enough of what you need to see. It doesn't blow out the storyline. It pretty much gives you a mission statement. Which is, this is the aftermath. They have a plan, but we don't know what the hell it is. Yeah. And it has to work, quote unquote.
And also two things. I liked someone's review saying on Film House podcast talking about how this what was it? This was a good example of like a trailer telling you a lot, but then also telling you nothing at the same time.
Yes. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, that it doesn't give you an ounce of story. It doesn't really give you anything. Right. It just gives you some familiar faces and pretty much like we don't know if it's been 5 months, 5 days, 5 years, but we know that the heroes have been trying to figure this out for whatever extended period of time. And with this movie being, I'm hearing 3+ hours long, this could be like the first 45 minutes of the film and not even really touch the main core story of it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited.
I'm what is it? They pushed the release date to earlier. They normally release it around May or around that time.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be May, but now it's going to be April.
And I'm wondering why they did that.
I think they want Captain Marvel to be as fresh in people's heads as possible because Captain Marvel comes out in March. Yeah. And I think Spider-Man Far From Home comes out like in May. So it's like March, April, May. Captain Marvel, Endgame, and then Far From Home. Like they want this all to feel like one story.
It'd be curious if someone could like... what's the ratio of Marvel movies coming out each year?
2 to 3.
Yeah, that's a
lot.
That's a
lot.
That's a lot.
I love this stuff, but that's a lot. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not complaining because I love Marvel stuff, as you'll hear later in this podcast. Speaking of trailers, yay or nay? The new Godzilla King of the Monsters trailer dropped.
We don't have to talk about it, but I like Godzilla. So new stuff is always good for me.
Yeah. Let's leave it at that. There's not a lot to talk about. So it's an awesome trailer. It reminds me of King of the Monsters, as the immortal Stan Lee would say, "Nuff said." Right. There was one thing on the docket, but I'm choosing not to talk about it in lieu of time. because there's still a lot of Game Awards stuff to talk about. Now, something that Winter brought to me that I'm sure he's like biting at the teeth.
Oh, what
to
about
talk
Kevin Hart?
Okay, if you want to talk about it, yes.
You were just
We're going to
gonna
talk about how
skip it?
Kevin Hart steps. I was going to skip it because I was just
How
like,
dare you?
If you want to
sir.
talk about it, we can talk about it.
Okay.
The America's sweetheart, Kevin Hart, steps down as from being the host of this upcoming Oscars because of some homophobic tweets he did about 6 years ago, and it's kind of, I don't know, because Kevin Hart has a lot of stuff around him. Like he's had multiple affairs that are public affairs with his spouse, which is all his business, mind you. He's not breaking any laws, mind you. But it just, the only reason I put it on this docket is because it's becoming I'm calling it being gunned down.
Gunned down.
And this is a reference. A lot of people can be gunned down, and this is a reference to James Gunn, where if you have any kind of negative, anything negative ever that has been documented to print ever, that you're responsible for it for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? And no matter how much you've changed or rehabilitated or no longer think that way or grown up or what have you, that you have to carry that with you, because there's somebody that can bring it up and cause a big uproar and cost you your livelihood, can cost you money, can cost you your reputation. And I just felt a kind of certain way about that. I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoy how I typed in Oscar host and it has say Nick Cannon stepping up for Kevin Hart.
Jesus.
Nick Cannon, he doesn't need you. Okay, moving on. Moving on to the story. I think it's very interesting. I'm trying to find out what he actually said in the tweet to see what it was. You're definitely right to connect it to James Gunn, but I think you can go a step farther where the Oscar, this is just another nail in the coffin. Other people have already said it. Nail in the coffin that the Oscars aren't really about the art.
It hasn't been about the art in a very, 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 very. I don't think it's ever been about the art, man.
Right. Well, I think there is a time, and I guess if I'm gonna say there is a time, that it must still have some connection to that of like people voting on these movies. But I think the question is, what are they voting on? Is something important to consider. It's very like what's coming into my mind is like the blatant disregard to the Dark Knight. Well, we don't have to go down that road really to make the point, but that is interesting that Dark Knight was a very popular film that was beautiful, but they only gave like Heath Ledger the nod that year because he died.
Yeah.
Yes, which proves my theory that if you die before your movie comes out, you're going to get an award. Good example, Amy Winehouse. Next.
Yeah. What I'll just say on this is I really didn't want it.
Yeah.
It's not very nerd-ersy, but
I think it's gonna surprise you how much nerdy this is, because this is also connected to I know I'm not I every time I say connected I feel like I sound like Alex Jones every time. It's also connected to the Illuminati taking over our jobs.
MK Ultra.
Yeah.
But
it's just bizarre, and I think nerds probably don't worry about the Academy Awards too much because we have years of being not recognized in the awards.
Yeah. Guillermo is the man because he's one of us. Guillermo del Toro is one of us. He's just the biggest nerd as any of us, and he won Best Picture. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you can just make a compilation of every time the Academy Award was applying horrible people, and then go, okay, I feel better now.
And it's like
standing ovation, Roman Polanski.
I Chihuahua, man. I don't want to talk about Roman Polanski today.
Okay. Standing ovation for Kevin Spacey.
Okay, that's better than... talk about the lesser of two evils, dog. Moving on.
Awarding Harvey Weinstein. Okay, let's go.
Right.
Let's go.
Needless to say, I think Kevin Hart deserves better than the rub he got.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't know. I'll leave it at that. I feel the guy said what he said, and it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to defend that, but does he have to carry that for the rest of his life? I don't think that's a tad bit fair. Even though he's not really exhibited that kind of behavior in recent years, but who am I to say? Who am I to judge? I'm not on the Academy now, aren't I? Speaking of things that are probably going to blow up, so our boy Soulja Boy released his own game console. Do you want to talk about this, man?
Yeah, so Soulja Boy is an entertainer, we'll say, a rapper and eccentric entrepreneur.
Was a rapper.
Was a rapper. He's now trying to market himself as a Shark Tank. Hold the shark, hold the tank.
Mm-hmm.
You can go to a website that he owns, and he's selling like Soulja Boy watch, Soulja Boy headphones, Soulja Boy tablet. Now he's selling Soulja Boy console, Soulja console, and then Soulja console handheld. You'll look at these things. They're obviously, one of them's obviously it's a case of an Xbox that's been with a PlayStation type looking controller, and you can get this and as well as the handheld device on Alibaba, whatever the site's called, for $70, and he likes to charge an extra 40 or extra 140 in some cases.
Yeah.
On these consoles, you'll get what is always should be a red sign to everybody: 3,000 games.
In the industry, we would call such a machine an emulator. And now, mind you, emulation,
right? But you should notice that emulators do not cut. Most of the emulators that you can buy. No, I can't say that now because it's not true. It's just there. There's a lot of red flags that should like worry your legal mind. For instance, there's Soulja Boy advertising this, and he also has pictures of Mario running around in his advertisements.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nintendo doesn't have a history of being upset when people use Mario, right? They don't have people needing to request the use of Mario's image, right?
Ever. Right? They're real chill with that, right?
Yes. If you didn't catch that, we're being sarcastic. We're
being facetious and we're being sarcastic.
Yes.
Here's the thing. And like, I recently jailbroke my PSP a while back, and I emulated the mess out of it. You know why? Because it's a dead system, and I'm not trying to sell it at mass market.
Right.
That's for me. That's literally for me. That's my little fun box. But this guy is selling them at a markup, mind you, because emulators are not that expensive. Mario games, Sega games, PlayStation games. And he has no permissions to sell any of it.
Yeah, and they're not even good.
They're bad emulators. They're not even the good ones. Not using not using any of the good emulation systems that are out there now. They're all crappy, but because it says Soulja Boy on it.
Well, it doesn't even say Soulja Boy on it. That's another thing where he doesn't have a name on the. I don't see his name anywhere on the actual device.
That's smart.
Yeah, the only difference between this and what you can get from the Chinese market is the case, which is white.
And he apparently made $250,000 within 24 hours of putting these on his store.
No.
That's what he said. That's
what he said? Okay, well.
That's what he said.
He's a traitor and part of the Rebel Alliance, and he must be destroyed.
Take him away. And on that note, we'll move on to the next story.
I want to use my veto so hard just to get under your skin for this one. Okay.
You better. I will veto your veto, and we'll just be screwed for the rest of the episode.
But I won't. I'm actually curious about this.
Monster Hunter World has announced 2 big additions. And you know how much I love this game, don't you, podcast listeners?
Uh-huh.
So they announced as the lesser update is that we're getting a The Witcher collaboration announcement. You know how much I love the Witcher 3, podcast listeners. So you're going to be able to dress your hunter as Geralt of Rivia, Jerry by the River, as Maximilian would say, and have a full-on kind of mini campaign where you fight monsters as Jerry by the River with new armor sets and new weapons, and pretty much just a fun, new, free-to-play Monster Hunter World experience, which this game is amazing at.
Right.
There's so much content that they put into this game that's absolutely free. You just, I've gotten to play as Dante, Ryu, Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn, Sakura from Street Fighter, and it's all for free. Now I'm going to be able to play as Geralt of Rivia, one of my favorite games of all time, mixing with another one of my favorite games of all time. I can't. It's too good. So I'm already happy for that. And on top of that, next year, they're going to be giving us a huge new expansion called Iceborne, where it's going to offer new ranks. So for those who are into Monster Hunter, there's possibility of G rank, which is something a lot of people have been wanting. New monsters, new landscapes, new armors, new weapons, new everything. And it's going to be this huge new quote unquote expansion that they're going to be building for this game. And I don't care how much it costs. I'm picking it up. I'm going to have a ball with it. I cannot wait. Your thoughts, Winter?
Monster Hunter is a game.
I hate it.
I'm sorry. I just don't know much about Monster Hunter. I tried to play it once, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. I'd rather play the multiple card games. I almost downloaded Yu-Gi-Oh! Yesterday.
Oh, you're not the king of games, Doug.
No one could be the king of games. It's masters of the nerdiverse.
True. Now, I do have to ask you
a republic.
Oh, we're going to talk about Republicans later in this episode.
What?
Yes, in a funny way. Now, I would have to ask you.
Funny going to happen.
There's nothing funny is going to come out of that. I had no jokes. Would you allow an ancient Egyptian pharaoh to take over your body to become the king of games, Doug? Would you allow this possession?
No, I don't think so.
You're the best. You could share your body with the Ramses, Doug.
Yeah.
We are the mummies, dude.
Yeah, but it has never worked out for anyone to do that. Brendan Fraser would polish off his guns, and he was like,
"Come after
time to get the mummies."
Say that again.
Time to get the mummies.
Why do I imagine him surfing on that stupid sandstorm that's in the first one? Oh, that's dumb. Okay,
get down. Get down. Go higher.
Okay, we got to move on because I'm just not going to stop laughing about time to get the mummies. That's burnt. Okay, so we're going to talk about the Game Awards. Did you happen to watch this winter by any chance? Any of it?
I watched a compilation of the trailers for it.
Cool. So about the Game Awards themselves, I do want to bring up 2 things before we go into the actual quote unquote news of it. Okay. One, congratulations to God of War for winning Best Game of the Year. When that game came out, there's podcast titles about God of War, so you know how much I loved it. But I'm just happy that Red Dead Redemption just didn't steamroll the entire dang show. So big ups to God of War for winning that, and also big ups to Echo Fox's Sonic Fox for winning Esports Player of the Year, and probably having one of the most insane, heartfelt speeches I've heard at an award show in quite some time. Did you have a chance to listen to that winner?
I watched the first 5 minutes of it actually, and I was not 5 minutes, probably like 30 seconds to a minute of it. And it's just like it kind of creeped me out, the mask. So
it's kind of cringy. Yeah. It's a little cringy, but the kid comes from the kid comes from a good place. And pretty much one thing he said which goes back to what we talked about earlier, is that he said, "Well, I'm black, I'm gay, I'm a furry," which is pretty much everything that Republicans hate. But I'm also the best fighting game. I'm almost the best esports player in the entire world for this year. So deal with it. That's pretty much what he said on stage.
Ooh, little gutsy Street Fighter boy.
And what's funny is that all these Republican like players have gotten really mad and coming at him like,
yes,
don't isolate us, man. Like, what do you have a problem with? He's like, first of all, you guys can do something that I won't say on this podcast. He said pretty much, kiss my grits, pretty much. And then they started to try to gun him down. They're like looking at old tweets and stuff like that, right? And Sonic responded back like, it's so funny to see these guys try to find something on me so hard, knowing that I have no dirt whatsoever. Keep searching, losers. Like he's so clean on Twitter that people are super mad because they don't have anything they can pull up to a character snipe him. So people are bringing up like, oh, he made fun of this one girl getting hit. He was like, it was at a Street Fighter tournament, idiot. She was playing Chun-Li. We laugh at everyone who gets hit in the game. Try harder. It's like so good. So big ups to Sonic Fox for being the damn man. So, all right, let's get into this Game Awards news. This will also be a yay or nay kind of situation. I've cherry picked the articles to which I think are interesting.
Okay.
So there's a lot more. There's a lot other announcements at the show that you can find on your own if you like, but these are the ones I figure we can talk about or not talk about depending on your verdict. So Far Cry New Dawn is a post-apocalyptic sequel to Far Cry 5. Yay or nay?
I want to go nay on this, to be honest with you, but in my response to a nay, I have to explain that there hasn't been enough time from Far Cry 5 to warrant Far Cry New Dawn, and the reason why, and it's a sequel, so I don't know, I don't like it. It stinks.
Fair enough, and I'll say something short that. I echo your sentiment that it's not Far Cry 6, right?
Right.
It's a sequel to 5, which I can almost respect, but these games are being churned out so fast that it doesn't give you time to miss it.
DLC to me. That's why I think Far Cry New Dawn sounds like it's a DLC that they're trying to get as its own game. I didn't read, but it's bizarre to me.
Yeah. I'm not feeling it either, so I'm not going to buy it. But then again, Far Cry games aren't really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But we'll see. From the makers of Pyre and Transistor comes Hades, a new isometric roguelike from the developers over at Supergiant Games. Yay or nay?
We can skip this one too, because I don't think the game itself is what's interesting. I think what's more interesting is that's being released on Epic's Game Store,
which is releasing a lot of stuff apparently.
Yeah, I looked at the gameplay. I'm like, okay, this is cool, but it's not my cup of tea. We will say.
Okay, and to be honest, guys, I'm a fake Supergiant Games fan because I only like their soundtracks and their music. Like, I love Transistor's soundtrack. I love Pyre's soundtrack. I love Bastion's soundtrack. So I'm really interested to see what kind of music comes out of this game.
Right.
That's all. That's it. Not really gameplay. I just want to hear the music. I love adding it to like my my Spotify playlist. Next, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is announced as a Switch exclusive. Yay or nay?
Veto would be what I would say if I was rude. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 sounds pretty dope, actually. I remember playing that several, like the second one,
Mm-hmm.
or what? I can't. Yeah, a while ago, long time ago, and then the second one where, like, you go into there's like a certain scene in the game where you have to sacrifice one of the heroes that you have in your
I think
team.
that's
Yeah.
Alliance 2, where it had like more realistic graphics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that hero was like canceled out through the rest of the game.
Gave
And I'm like, good. I only equip heroes with guns.
man.
Yeah. So Deadpool,
Punisher,
yeah,
Domino, but
yep.
I've been playing these games and I am obsessed. I was obsessed because they haven't made one of these in a very long time. I was obsessed with X-Men Legends 2, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1, of course, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2. And I love these games like on Xbox 360. You know what I'm saying? I used to play it a lot on those, and on PlayStation 2, and fun games. So when I heard this come out, it's like another reason to buy a Switch, right? It's just this console is really impressing me. I don't own one, mind you, for all discretion.
Yes.
But I really want
I like how one person put it, where it's not the king, it's not reigning supreme over the home console war, but it's definitely reigning supreme on the mobile console war. Yeah, because no other mobile console could then, well, never mind. I was going to say can hook up to the TV, which is not entirely true, but it's cool. It's exciting to see a Switch, because what I was afraid of was Nintendo. Sometimes I didn't like the series of games that were out for the Wii.
Yeah, I didn't buy the Wii or the Wii U.
Yeah,
I haven't bought a Nintendo system.
Yeah, but this is like this is like back to like Nintendo could actually have games that are cool, right? Or like not cool, but I don't have to choose between. I'm just backtracking here. Like,
no worries. I'll pick it up, man. Nintendo doesn't have to have games that just cater so hard to the family environment. You know what I mean? It all doesn't have to be Mario Party.
That's what I'm
Nintendo's, they got Skyrim. Switch got Skyrim. They're getting Doom. They're getting Dark Souls. You know what I'm saying? So this is reminding me more and more of like the Super Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like this, because the GameCube started to go in that direction of family fun games, but you still had like Soul Calibur.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like games like that. But like, I really want to Switch, because I don't even consider Switch as a contender for the PlayStation and the Xbox, because it's something completely different. You know what I'm saying? It's on a different wavelength than those beastly systems. Like you said, this is the mobile killer. Like this is, I just want to play Smash and Legend of Zelda and Mario Odyssey and now Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mario Kart. Like, it's just a whole different wavelength of fun. And now that like Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming to the Switch, like I have to get one, because I have to play these old games that I used to love. And it's also multiplayer, so you can play with other people like around, that's really cool. Like, we can jump in and out of your campaign. I just hope the Fantastic Four are in it. I'll leave it at that. Next, Obsidian, makers of the original Fallout and Fallout New Vegas, premiered The Other Worlds, which is their sci-fi answer, quote unquote, to the Fallout series.
Yes.
Yay or nay?
We can talk about it a little bit. I mean, I'm interested. I like the idea of a game that is like Fallout. I love Fallout. I think it's one of the better franchises that I can say that I'm a fan of. I can't say that for all the franchises that I like. The problem that I have with this, because a lot of people are going, "Oh, they're kicking Fallout while they're down." It's like, well, to me, that kind of sounds like they're trying to jump on the the woes of this like Fallout 76 is doing bad. We need to quickly jump the market to put our game out there so that we can be the competitor. And that does not sound that. I mean, it sounds weird. That's a red flag that would be in the back of my mind. There's no way to prove that it's not that. Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like, I think that's a little unfair because it's not like they haven't been producing that CG trailer for months.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, they just didn't cook up something. It just wasn't a logo that they just threw up there. You know what I mean? Just to kind of kick Bethesda.
Yeah, but then that goes into they worked on it for months, but there's been several times where people have worked on stuff and they've waited for another time. I mean, I could see them like, I think what would be more charitable would be like they've already have the game partially done. They have the game mostly done. They're working on this CGI. Yeah, because I need to see the trailer again. But
yeah, and that's the thing. It's just like I think this was going to be at the Game Awards on this night, no matter how well 76 did or not. You know what I mean? Because this is a smaller studio. This isn't backed by Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo.
Is it Obsidian owned by
these two guys?
Microsoft now?
Are these? It is Obsidian, isn't it? It is Microsoft, so I take that back. But that being said, I still feel that the rise or fall of 76 really had nothing to do with this game, because I'm hearing that they actually even have gameplay out there somewhere. Like you can watch like 10 minutes of gameplay for this thing. So this is, I don't think, is it opportunistic? Maybe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because who would have suspected, or who would have guessed that 76 would have burned so hard that it did? You know what I mean? It still continues to burn that trash fire. But I wouldn't say Outer Worlds is a direct response to that. I think Outer Worlds was going to exist either now or at E3 of 2019. We're going to see this game eventually, of course.
Right.
But the Game Awards is a good place for guys like this, where it's small little kind of pseudo indie developer, even though it is now recently owned by Microsoft, to kind of show off their game, because they didn't really show off the game; they just kind of showed off their trailer. But I think it's unfair to them to kind of lump them in with the nonsense that's going on at Bethesda.
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily lumping in. It's just telling people, which is tough to do in the video game news world, to go, let's reel it in for a second. Let's wait till the game comes out, and let's not fall into the same trap that got Fallout to where it was before, which is if this game comes out with a pre-order, don't pre-order it.
Just let it chill. Wait, just wait. Like,
don't buy it in beta.
Have a tendency. Don't buy it in beta. Let it breathe.
Yes.
Like, and that's kind of my motto with Bethesda games going forward. You don't want to be a first adapter to a Bethesda game because it's gonna be buggy as hell. And you don't want to have to deal with that irritation. No. So I'm very excited for this game.
Please send all your hate mail to TrashMonkIII, and I leave room. I leave room to be corrected and room for me to be wrong, which I am constantly.
No, man, I don't think you're wrong. It's an opinion, my man.
Opinions can be wrong. You're not my mother.
You're not my mother. Oh man, you never saw this coming. Apparently, Persona 5's Joker is going to be the next. Is going to be the first in the DLC for Smash Brothers Ultimate, which blew my ever loving mind. Yay or nay?
I went yay. I remember going like, "Oh, I know that guy," and then my roommate was like, "I don't know him," and it's like, that's pretty close to. Yeah, to probably the majority of the audience, I would go. I don't know.
It's really feast or famine.
It's either you're really stoked about it or you're not. Same thing for like when you mean Negan's going to be in Tekken? Yeah,
right. you're either stoked about it or you have no idea who this character is
Right.
and don't care, right? And what excites me more about the character, because I didn't play Persona 5, but is the precedent it sets. And that the chairman of Nintendo was saying that this opens the door not just for Nintendo characters, but for any character. Like all of the downloadable characters are going to be guest characters. So it could be anyone. It could be Laura Croft. It could be the Doom Slayer from Doom. It could be Tony Hawk. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? It could be anybody. You know. So I think that's very exciting.
Now I think we've talked about this in the past. But what are your thoughts about? Do you think that they put a lot of thought in guest, like when you're watching tournaments of like Super Smash or Tekken or other fighting games where they have like bizarre guest characters? Do you see a lot of people playing them, or is there like known flaws in these guest characters to where they're fun to look at, fun to play, but in like a real competition wise, they never go for them?
What? Hey, at Evo this year, 2 Bayonettas won That's Evo. True. You know, in Smash 4. You know what I mean? I think guest characters is very having a guest character in your game is a lot of responsibility to give. So I think they take extra care with guest characters to make them right, especially Smash. Because with guest characters in Smash, you're not just getting the character, you're getting a fully fledged out stage. You're getting a lot of like little accoutrement with the character. You're getting all their music remixed and all that cool stuff. So kind of like Noctis from Final Fantasy and Tekken 7. You know, there's a lot of love they put into those characters. Like Geralt from, you know, Geralt of Rivia is in Soul Calibur 6, and he's just a ball to play. He's Sonic Fox uses Geralt of Rivia in Soul Calibur tournaments. You know what I mean? So I think that the actual guest characters get a bit more of a rub from the game developer, because it's like, you know what I mean? It's like being invited to someone else's house. You have to be on your best behavior, you know, otherwise, you know what I mean? So it's like, we got to get this character 100% right. They got to feel 100% familiar, but also be new. It seems very like a very stressful situation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to nay this next one, but I don't, you know, if you want to talk about it, that's cool. Which is Crash Team Racing's getting a remaster.
Veto it, boot it, get it out. Get it out of my sight.
Get out. Let's see. After that, do you want to talk about BioWare teasing a new Dragon Age game?
Cool.
I know, right?
Yeah. Never was a fan of the series.
Me neither. Like, and nothing against it. I'm hearing it's a really good game. You know what I'm saying? Fine. I hope BioWare does something right within the next 5-10 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I honestly have no faith in Anthem. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have faith in Anthem.
Yeah, I think Anthem is gonna draw an audience. There's gonna be people who are tired of Destiny 2 by then. They're gonna want Destiny 2.5. Then you got Anthem. Yeah. And going back to a recent to another to something we just talked about, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, because this is what I think a lot of RPG games are missing. And it's a mechanic that's been around for a while. You see it in Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2, and Neverwinter Nights, which is you have the ability to create your own adventures.
Well, Obsidian's super good at that, because really, New Vegas was very heavy in create an adventure, not a character, mind you.
Right.
Create the adventure. It modes around you depending on your decisions. You know what I mean?
Right. But I'm talking about how, like, Neverwinter Nights, they had like a big old list of, these are different like adventures that people have made. You download them and then you play your character in them. And there's like crazy like replicas of old school D&D modules that they made into the Neverwinter Night game, and then you just run it. So it removes the need for a dungeon master. You just play this game, a dungeon master or a game master. In case you nerds don't know about D&D,
You're gonna learn soon enough,
right? So I've always enjoyed that. I didn't realize Divinity Original Sin had that until recently, and I feel like an idiot that I didn't buy it when it was on sale. So I think I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance or like games like that should be looking at that as something added, because it would be hard to do like competitive, like multiplayer. I think for Alliance where you're like against each other, and there's such a room that could be used. Like there's hardly any addition that you need to add to the game. You just need to add like a map maker, a few areas to type in text, and boom, you got yourself. Like, yeah, okay. I've said my piece.
I've embarrassed myself. I'm going to take these pants back to the pants store. Speaking of things that won't be embarrassing, Psychonauts 2 full reveal trailer. Yay or nay?
I didn't play the first one, but I know it. A lot of people like it. I'm always gonna like obscure games, and it's not entirely obscure because there's a lot of people that know about it, but it's not another Call of Duty.
Thank you. Right, it's a quirky little game that has a huge history, and a lot of people dig it. So it's a fun, and it's going to be like a cool little platformer, kind of like Ratchet and Clank, I think, with a fun story. I'm down. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll pay $60 for it, my man, but you know, it's probably going to hit my my external hard drive at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the last story of the night, which cannot be vetoed, I refuse to accept this veto, is the announcement for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, it looks sick. When was the release date for that again?
Freaking April 23rd, dude. What? It comes out like in 5 months. It's like coming out like early next year. That's insane. Like you announce it, it might as well be like out today. You know, like the game looks great. Ed Boon, of course, is a troll. I love me some fighting games, as you guys. It's well documented, and I can't be more ecstatic that we finally got a trailer for the next game from NetherRealm Studios, Mortal Kombat 11, that apparently has to do with time travel. So they're going to bring back all the fighters from all over the history as a celebration.
Did you figure out the song that they were playing in the trailer?
It was some song it's called Immortal by 21 Savage. 21.
Oh,
and people whined about it.
I should have thought about that.
Yep. It's Immortal by 21 Savage. And everyone was like, what's this hip hop stuff? This is garbage, dude.
Right.
Why don't you? And it's like, people forget that he played Wiz Khalifa for MKX. Like, they have a thing for that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know?
I would have loved it if they just went like full Hambone on it and just gave like 21 Savage, make us a Mortal Kombat rap. He's like, Mortal Kombat. Mortal
Kombat. Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat. 21 Kombat. You know.
21. Yeah.
21 Kombat. But the game looks like to have it's going, and there's some recent links. So just so you guys know, Shao Kahn is going to be a playable character for the first time in Mortal Kombat history. That he's going to be playing a playable character that doesn't have to be like jerry rigged or game genied to play as. So Shao Kahn is going to be on the roster, which is huge. That's never happened before in Mortal Kombat games, I don't believe. It's going to have a custom move system and a custom gear system, kind of like Injustice 2, but not so married to the actual pieces. I think it's going to be mix and match. It's going to be a lot of style points in that. Like I mentioned earlier, it's going to take place in the past, present, future, a lot of time travel, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get back some dead characters.
Right.
Like Smoke and like Jade and like Scarlet and all the warriors, man. Even the bad Mortal Kombat 4 characters like Movado, you know what I mean? and Mocap. You know what I mean? Hopefully we get Mocap back.
And who do you think they're gonna pull from for like a special guest appearance?
I'm hearing buzz around the campfires that they're gonna bring Spawn.
What?
A lot of buzz around the campfire. They're gonna bring the Spawn's gonna be a playable character in Mortal Kombat X.
That's
like fully it's kind of nutty, right?
Yeah. I wonder what his backstory is gonna be
and apparently he's gonna be like in the story. Like the storyline, like Spawn is going to be talking to Johnny Cage or something.
Who's your source?
I'm hearing words.
Are you just talking to the homeless people on the street again?
I do that anyway because I'm a man of the people.
Yeah,
but
are you just talking to the people behind Taco Bell again?
Yes, because I get my free cold chalupas, dog. The only way you get a cold chalupa in this city is pull them from the trash can. Cold chalupa game. But Todd McFarlane, the creator of Spawn, has been really rubbing up to Ed Boon, the creator of Mortal Kombat, for many months now, for many years now. He's like, put Spawn in the game. Come on. It's all bloody and stuff. Put my boy in there. Come on. And Ed Boon just giggles and runs away like a schoolgirl, just not accepting it. But I'm hearing because
typical Hollywood.
He's so tsundere.
Yeah.
And he runs into the smoke. And Scorpion says, "Get over here!" And he throws Tom McFarlane into the back of a cop car. But I'm hearing whispers that it's going to be Spawn is definitely going to be on the roster for Mortal Kombat 11. And given kind of like the create a character feel that it's going to have, I am extremely excited, dude. I can't stop thinking about it. Actually. It's in April, man. Like Devil May Cry is coming out in March, and then the next month, March is Devil May Cry and Captain Marvel. April is Affinity, Endgame and Mortal Kombat. Dude, it's gonna be such a cool start to 2019. I'm super excited.
Yeah, or you can get excited for you could probably veto this the MMO that was announced during the Game Awards called Atlas. By the people who brought you Project Arc.
Talk about it. If you want to talk about it. I don't know much about it. Talk about it, dude.
Yeah, I just know it has pirates and there's dragons around and there's custom ship building. Someone said that it looked like garbage. I'm like, well, yeah, it's true. It's true. Graphics-wise. But I think the reason why it looks like garbage is because they're putting everything in the fact that there's going to be 40,000 people on a server.
And so it's not going to run like people don't get it, do they? They don't get that. The more you do that, the more you have to sacrifice on certain things.
And essentially, what it made it sound like is like there's not going to be you choose which server you're going to be on. It's like there's a big old map and everybody's on it. Everybody. And once you go down I want to go to this island that's all ice. While you're on that ship, you're actually going to the Iceland server or something like that. That's how this Verge article explained it to me. And
interesting.
Yeah, where everyone's going to be on the same server. Sort of thing.
That sounds like a hot mess, my man.
Yeah.
Like if they could pull it off, you know what I'm saying? More power to them.
There's no way that's going to actually happen.
I'm like,
they're only expecting to have 40,000 players. But they're trying to maximize the idea that there's going to be a lot of people running around.
Well, sleepy cast. More power to them. That sounds like a gargantuan feat, my man. I don't know, dude. But more, you got to, and that's why it doesn't look like The Last of Us 2, people,
right.
because You can't.
It's an
You got to say
MMO.
it's an MMO.
It's an
And
MMO
you gotta have
that
a balance.
yeah. It's an MMO that you go into first person, you can go to third person, you can go into ship mode, and they need to make it all look like not crummy.
And not choppy.
Yeah.
It has to run smoothly with 40,000 people on one server.
Right.
That's insane, dude.
Project Arc.
Project Arc, get hype. Get hype. Overall, it was a good game show for this year.
Yes.
Congrats to all the winners. Congrats to all the nominees. Spider-Man got snubbed, didn't win one award. I feel bad for that. But Red Dead Redemption 2, man. It's a Rockstar year. What are you going to do? Oh, good. So what are you looking forward to?
Well, I heard that there's another award show coming on that's pure garbage, Gamer Choice Awards. Yeah, like it's supposedly owned by CBS. It's like and Ninja is there, but you know who opened up the awards? Kiss. Because you know that's what the kids like. So
that's what the kids like.
Yeah, I just want to see that go down. I have this documentary that I want to finish on Super Punch Out to watch.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm editing the second story for a project that we're working on. Wink, wink.
Yeah, wink, wink.
And also going to talk to this lady about where can I get my $10 from a story.
Give me my $10.
Yeah.
I need to buy me some saxophone.
Yeah. And then she tells me,
juice.
well, I need you to send me $50 so that I can send you this money.
Yeah. And then you disappear. Yeah. You unplug your Ethernet cable. Like Winter said, I also am going to be doing a lot more drawing for said project we're working on.
Wink, wink.
And wink, wink. And I'm also going to be doing a lot of thinking and writing and calculating for another project we're working on. Calculon. For another project that we're working on coming at the beginning of the year. Wink, wink. So I got to put a lot of thought into that. Nothing coming out. It's the end of the year. No games, no movies. So it's just a lot of preparing for next year. It's really what I'm excited about. It's getting all of our ducks in order to give you another solid year of trashy nerd anime fighting game esports nonsense that you've come to love from our podcast. Do you have any passing thoughts, Winter, before we close this bad boy out?
Yeah, check me out on Instagram and Twitter at TrashMugIII. That's TrashMug III. And Rico Suave.
So do so.
Yeah. Is that from your era? Rico Suave.
What do you mean my era? Yes, it is. But what do you mean my era?
All right.
I'm offended.
I was wondering if you're just going to let that slide.
No, I was super not. Because what do you kids know about Ae, da, Rico? Ae, da, Suave.
I just know that from the I Love the 80s or I Love the 90s VH1 series that I would just burn my brain with. Okay, yeah, let's close it.
You're making me feel old, man. You're making me feel old. Because I lived that in a weird way. I existed, and I cognitively remember it. Yeah. If you cognitively remember to give us money, you can actually do so at our Patreon, which is at mastersofthenerdiversecast.com, which is our official website, The More You Know, where you can pledge as little as $1 a month to help make this podcast go like the little engine that could. But if you wanted to support our podcast non-monetarily, you can absolutely do so by liking our posts, by commenting on our episodes, and by subscribing to our channel. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your other host, Trash Monk the Third.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond.